Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Mike V from What the Fuck America, and welcome to today's episode where we're going to cover the Second Amendment, the Breonna Taylor case, and mail-in voter fraud. Is it real? Is it fake? We don't know, but we're going to find out on today's episode, so stay tuned.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of What the Fuck America. It's me, your host, Mr. Mikey V, with your boy Rob. How's it going, bro?
What up, man? How y'all doing out there?
Good, man. How you doing, Sarah Love? You here with us today?
I'm here. What's up, guys?
Hey. All right. Got a good show for you guys today, man. What do you think, Rob? What do you think about
I don't have
what's
no
going
clue
on today
about none of these damn topics, so I'm gonna need you to explain to me really what's going on with the Breonna Taylor thing. I keep seeing it all over social media, all over news. I know it's some big war, like the cops didn't get they didn't get charged or something for, I guess, her murder. So clue me in, man. Let me know what's going on with that.
Yeah, we got some information on that. But first, what I want to kind of talk about, though, I think, which will kind of lead into that conversation, is the Second Amendment right? You know what that is?
That's the main one, I believe. I can't remember exactly what it states.
The right to bear arms.
Arms, I knew what it was. I just couldn't remember.
It was the main one, bro. That's the perfect explanation.
Hey, well, really, it is. Because when we lose that, man, they take over. They take total control of us. They've been trying to do that to us for the past like 10 years now, try to take the weapons out of the hands of the American people. Hitler did it to his people, and you see what happened. He almost took over the world when he was able to take the rights of his people from having guns. They all had to give up their guns, and America's trying to do the same thing before they.
Well, that's what I mean. Okay, so I want to what I was asking, I guess, is what I was saying is the Second Amendment. When it was written way back in the olden days, and it was basically stating, let's see, I'm going to pull something up here. It was basically stating that you had the right to bear arms against anybody that was going to harm you, including the government, right?
The government,
It made sure that a tyrannical government or somebody with those kind of powers and stuff couldn't just come into your cottage or your hut or whatever they called them in those days, and your house, and they couldn't just take you away and do whatever, right? You had the right to bear arms. You had the right to be heard because we are democracy. But we also think, okay, so that was written way a long time ago. Does that kind of thing still apply today? Does the right to bear arms, the way our forefathers written it in our Constitution, does it still make sense for us today? And I think it does, because the information that we gathered on some of this stuff in the Breonna Taylor case, like her boyfriend actually was acquitted of all his charges. Did you know that? The guy that was in the apartment with her, he shot back at some officers, and they were going to put him under the jail, man. Shooting at cops, that's a big crime.
So that's what happened, right? Her boyfriend was involved with something, and the police came to the house, and he supposedly came out. You're saying shooting?
No. Go back to the beginning.
Okay, so the original warrant was approved. It was a no-knock warrant, and what it was approved for was it was approved for an ex-boyfriend of Breonna Taylor who had been using that address. So the guy that was in the apartment was new boyfriend. I don't know how new, but was new guy, not old guy. He was the one in the apartment with Breonna at the time of the warrant, when the warrant was issued and served. So the guy that they were actually looking for was not this man. They were looking for him for drug-related charges, and apparently in other court documents and things, he used this address. So this was the only address that the police had for this guy. So that was what originally, and whatever they were doing, however, I don't know if it was a warrant sweep. I don't know if it was, they were specifically trying to execute this warrant for this guy. I don't know how that all happened, but anyway, they needed to go in and get this guy, and he wasn't there. It wasn't him, it was someone else. Basically, like I said, the original warrant was approved as a no-knock warrant, but then was changed right before the raid to a knock before you announce warrant, which the boyfriend, the new guy that was in the apartment, claims never happened, that they never announced it, that they still went ahead with the no-knock.
He did say that they knocked because that's what woke them up. They were sleeping in the apartment and they heard banging on the door.
Right.
And so he got up and got his gun. What they thought was it was that the ex was back to like harass them or something. And it turned out to be the police, but the police busted through the door without announcing their presence, and they busted through in plain clothes. They were not in uniforms.
Well, yeah, because that's how most cops, I think, serve warrants, is they serve them in like tactical gear, regular clothes, because they don't need the suspect to be alerted, they kind of want to be sneakily. And that's kind of the whole thing with this no-knock warrant, they should have been able to just, sneak up and kind of just break in and get their guy. But so
the police were under the assumption that it was the guy that they were looking for that was in the apartment.
Yes. So right there, already a problem. If you ask me, in my opinion, I think the officers should have made sure, double sure, triple sure that the suspect is there. They did, I don't know what their policy is on, if they just get an address for someone that they're looking for, or, and they just go to that address, I don't know if they do anything.
So I'm trying to figure out how this all went down. So they basically went up in there, supposed to have a no-knock warrant that turned into a knock warrant, and they ended up going with the no-knock. They rush up in there, and this guy starts blazing bullets at him.
Well, yeah. So
it was one shot. He fired one shot.
And it was, I'm not sure, but I want to say it was after midnight. It was like 1 or 2 in the morning when this went down.
And the police weren't in police uniform.
Correct.
Not like traditional uniform. Not traditional uniform. They were probably in
it was three cops in regular clothes.
So man, that's a big thing right there, because in the middle of the night, 3 guys just dressed in regular clothes. I mean, people use that as jack move options. Hey, this is the police, How is one to be sure who is that really breaking into their house or coming through the damn door? I mean,
right, which goes back to the Second Amendment right that we were talking about.
Yeah.
We have the right to protect ourselves. We have the right to bear arms, to protect ourselves, to protect our property. And so when you got people coming into your house, he did what he's allowed to do under our Constitution, right? He fired one shot, and he ended up realizing that he was the cops.
That they were the cops?
No, he realized that they were the cops after everything went down, because all right, so just imagine the situation. Your door gets kicked in, you're asleep, and so the first thing you think is home invasion, and you go
exactly. I'm waking up, I'm shooting.
Right. That's what he did. And then they started screaming, that's when they started notifying, this was the police, but they also did that in a hail of bullets. Like they were just going to town on their end because somebody shot at them. So they did their job and started shooting back. And
so basically the way it went down was the boyfriend let off one shot and hit one of the officers in the leg. The officer that he hit fired off 6 rounds in response to that one. And one of the other officers,
I believe
fired
that was,
more than 10 shots through a window or an Arcadia door.
and I believe that was Officer Brett Hankinson. That's the guy that, the only guy out of all the officers right now that is being charged, basically shooting into other people's apartment and putting other people in danger by his actions.
So in the midst of all this shooting inside the apartment, that's when Breonna Taylor got hit, correct?
She got hit with the 6 shots from the cop that got shot.
Yeah. Yeah. So they unloaded on her, man. Or not, they knew it was her, whether or not, I don't know if they knew what they were shooting at. My guess is probably not, because again, here we go back to like when we talked in our last episode about police reform and training and stuff like that. You just, these
like
guys don't have the right training, man. Like they don't have the right training to be.
For one, it's just, why would you go into anywhere if you were given direct orders for a knock warrant, and then you're not sure if that's the guy or not? You're there in the middle.
We also got to think that came from the whole, that came from the judicial system, from the judges and stuff. Like apparently the no knock warrant was issued, but then it became a knock warrant like at the very end, last minute. So, you know, trickling the information down.
It was a knock and announce. That's the important part, because they were expected to issue a knock and announce warrant. And the only thing that ever happened was a knock. And the boyfriend and the neighbors all maintain that they never announced.
I mean, what's the deal at 12 o'clock at night though? Like, why not do it during the daylight? So, you know, I mean, a lot of bad shit happens at night.
Well, think about it from a police perspective. You
Unsuspected, I know, but
you want to be, you
They
want
were
to have
looking
the
for a
element of
guy
surprise. You know,
on
they're
drug
looking for a
charges.
suspect. They're looking for a suspect, a criminal, which rightfully so. If that's what you're doing, then yeah, you know, you want to have the upper hand. But at the same time, there is a lot of ins and outs and detail that you got to follow with this kind of thing, because if not, it's going to lead to this. It's going to lead to the death of an innocent person. And, you know, that I mean, I don't see why you'd want that kind of blood on your hands.
I think they should have came at it a different way, though. Why would 3 officers that were not in any type of uniform, basically in regular clothes, in the middle of the night? That just seems crazy to me to pull off a warrant that way. Why not have the SWAT outside with the lights on, and then they need to announce that they are there so everybody knows, yo, the boys is here, the police is here.
That's the other thing that's a little fishy about the situation, is that typically with warrants of any kind, there's an ambulance on standby. That ambulance was called off before the warrant was executed.
Yeah. See, a lot of funny little anomalies to this too, which makes you wonder, you know, what is really going on? Who is really pulling the strings here? Because so many, I feel like there's so many little details in this case that were overlooked or somehow swept under the rug or forgotten, or, you know, that should have been done, that should have happened. And this would have possibly saved a person's life. That's why it's such a huge deal right now. That's why it sparked so much controversy. On top of that, she is a Black woman, you know, and the tensions between the racial tensions in our country right now are just,
I mean, it's just crazy to think like they would even go in blazing like that, not knowing like there could be other innocent people in the house. You know, it could be the boyfriend could have been a mad crazy man that, you know, had them kind of hostage or something. The police didn't even take the time to even realize the situation that was going on inside the house and how many people were inside the house.
That's why the training is so important, because dude, like they're going in there, not to mention you got, how thick is drywall, and when you're building a structure, you know, your framing is maybe 4 inches at most between walls, you know, and then you got a thin piece of drywall on that framing on either side, which really only puts maybe 5-6 inches between you and the next room. So there's other people in an apartment complex 6 inches outside of your range. As a police officer, you should know going in the first place, they shouldn't be shooting. There's other people. But
They should have
did.
did that in a different situation. They should have handled that differently, man. Somehow,
Right.
in my opinion, I think the way you're explaining it to me, I would say they should have handled it a little bit differently. So now we got. I guess I heard in an article, I read an article the other day. I guess 2 of the cops had got off, so it caused a little bit more uprising. And
so there was 3 officers involved. Officer Brent Hankinson, he's a detective. Then you have Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly, and then Officer Miles Cosgrove. Okay, Brett Hankinson was the one that fired into the sliding glass door. He was sorry. He was the one that's being charged with, let me see, I got it written down somewhere here. There's a term for it. It was a funny looking term too. It reminded me of like wontons or something. The word.
Wanton endangerment.
Yes, that's it right there. Wanton endangerment. He's being charged with wanton endangerment, which basically stating that he put other people's lives in danger. He got 3 counts, charged with 3 counts of that. And he put other people's lives in danger. The other people in the apartment.
The window in the Arcadia door, the shades were drawn, so he didn't have line of sight, and that's why he's being charged with that.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that officers, when a situation like this happens, should they all be charged? Just imagine this: when something happens, say you walk into a store with somebody. You walk in there 3 deep or something, and one of the persons just decides to steal out the blue. They take everybody to jail because they feel like you're an accomplice, Well,
they have to interview everybody.
Yeah.
Find out if the other people knew about it, were they in on it?
Investigate.
If it's determined that they won't, usually those people get off.
True. Okay.
Yeah, but just like you had in the George Floyd case, right? You had multiple officers in that case. And one of the guys in that case is actually claiming, he was a rookie. He's only been on the force for a few months. He's listening to his trainer. Now you think you're in a regular, as a young rookie cop, you're in a situation, you're there with your trainer, your guy, your officer that's supposed to be training you. We all know what it's like to follow a trainer around at a new job. You take that guy's word for it, right? Because he's the one showing you the ropes. So at that point, do you question your superior? Do you question your officer? The guy that's a little bit above you has the seniority on what he's doing. I say yes when it reaches a certain point, like with the George Floyd case, when you're visibly sitting on a guy's neck and he's screaming for his mother and he's screaming that he can't breathe. To me, that's a blatant, that's like, you need to move and act right now. That's right there in your face. As far as the case in the Breonna Taylor case, as far as Officer Miles Cosgrove goes, sorry about that.
That's a tongue twister.
Yeah, it was. He was just present. That's all. He was there with the other officers issuing the warrant, and he wasn't the lead. He wasn't anything, so like basically the other guys are the ones that knocked and then went in and then everything happened and he was just there. Like, so what do you do as an officer at that point? Now you're going to get charged for murder because you're doing your job.
Yeah, I guess if it was just one, obviously you don't want to, they'd have to find out, do the evidence on it and see who did actually what. But sometimes it could be.
I think they found out who has fired most of the shots, actually, because I think 10 rounds came from Officer Brent Hankinson, the one that's being charged, just from his gun. So, I mean, and then
all from one shot. That's just
one shot from the boyfriend from the apartment, and these guys unloaded, man.
That's insane.
Then you got Sergeant Mattingly. He's on an administrative reassignment. He's saying that he did the moral, legal, ethical thing. That's his stance on it. The other officer, Miles Cosgrove, like I said, he's just saying that he was just present following orders. So really it comes down to this one officer, Brent Hankinson. He's the one that fired most of the shots. He's the one that is.
Well, the problem is that Hankinson fired the most shots and he fired them without line of sight, which is definitely wrong. But Mattingly is the one that actually fired the rounds that ultimately killed Breonna Taylor. And Mattingly is on administrative reassignment, which means he's just been reassigned to a desk instead of working in the field.
Right. But I mean, I guess you're innocent until proven guilty in this country. So, I mean, until the evidence really comes to light that he, you know, that he actually did something illegal. That's the thing. I mean, that there and actually right now there's the family of Breonna Taylor and the attorneys and everybody. They're all requesting the court transcripts right now because of what happened with the 3 officers and how all the charging of the officers went down. You know, basically they acquitted a couple guys, and then the one guy kind of goes down for a crime that really has nothing to do with Breonna Taylor herself. So I could see how that would spark outrage. I could see how that would, you know, cause this huge uprising, man. Like,
the thing with the cops is, I feel like, because we was talking about this in the last episode, you know, there's a war going on. Like, I seen a video the other day of a cop that got charged for, I guess it was during the protest, where he had ran a dude's head over, a neck over with the bicycle. And it shows him, like, that is crazy, man. Like,
why? And it's like, why? Why do that? What for? What was the reason?
It's almost like they're being paid or something to do this. I just don't believe that regular human beings would actually do something like that. You know,
would act like that.
Yeah. Why would you? You know, if you.
I believe it. Human beings are disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, you might have a point there, Sarah.
You do. I mean, fuck. Remember, Epstein didn't kill himself. And that guy is a fucking disgusting human being, right? I mean, dude, humans are capable of anything. I mean,
evil humans.
Really?
Those people are evil, man. Like, they have to be, you know, to do shit like that. Like,
yeah, I could see why it's such a volatile situation over there, man. I mean, geez, it's just it kind of pisses me off, honestly, because it really makes you wonder, you know, what is going on with our system. Our system is broken. Our system is broken, you guys. And it's super important that we get it back to running the right way, because if not, we're never going to have peace in this country. The cops are not going to be able to trust community, and the community is not going to be able to trust law enforcement. And it's just going to be a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you're going to have stuff like this. You're going to have people losing their lives over dumb things, which is unfortunate. So let us know what you guys think about the Breonna Taylor case. What you think is going on there, what your views are. You guys can comment below. Let us know what you think about that. I also heard that what was it that, let me see, I got some notes actually about they agreed to pay her family $12 million in settlement, and her boyfriend has had all the charges dropped for his involvement in the case. So
how the hell that happened?
You want to know why?
Because he's got the Second Amendment right.
You see this right here? You see this right here? That's called America, baby. That's the Second Amendment right working in Americans' favor. That's how it should work. That's how it should be.
Meet John. John's really worried because he's having some electrical problems at home. The safety switch keeps tripping, causing unexpected outages, and John doesn't know why. John knows he can't do anything himself. Electricity is dangerous after all. Thankfully, John's neighbor recommended us. His neighbor had used us before and assured John that we were fully licensed and highly qualified in all aspects of electrical work safely. If you're experiencing electrical problems like John, don't take chances. Get complete peace of mind for you and your family. Contact us for an inspection today.
I'm gonna go with mail fraud. We're gonna go with
crazy shit about the mail trucks going on. What is going on? What the fuck, America, about this topic? Mail trucks.
Rob, I want to hear what you heard. What did you hear about this?
Okay, I seen an article popped up, and I guess it's not really out there yet, but it's gonna be coming out. And they're talking about these mail trucks are now over their life expectancy of 24 years. All of a sudden, so happened to be that this is the year of mail-in votes. The mail trucks are actually catching on fire because they're basically over their life expectancy of 24 years. Me personally, I don't think I've ever seen any type of vehicle just burst into flames. I'm talking about the whole damn thing is on fire outside these people's
I have
houses. You've
Yeah,
seen
man, it
what?
happens in Arizona all the time.
a car burst into flames. Absolutely.
And
Explain.
I can understand in Phoenix because of the temperature, because how hot it can get. So I can understand that. But these are in just odd places.
It was confirmed that it was unrelated to temperature. The one that I'm talking about, it was confirmed that it was unrelated to temperature.
Oh, okay. So it was
Okay, well,
was
so
something
what happened
wrong
with
with
it
the
then?
car?
I mean, I'm not a mechanic. I don't know what it was, but it was something about the mechanics of the car that caused it.
And
Hey,
okay, so
man.
so you're basically telling me that's a once in a lifetime mechanic fuck up or something that caused that.
I don't know. I don't know. I just know that it wasn't related to
No.
me.
I think what she's saying is that it's not a once in a lifetime deal, basically. This stuff does happen. It does happen. And it's actually quite frequent. Cars burst into flames. And even more so now, I mean, they had there was a streak of Teslas and stuff that were bursting into flames and stuff.
Okay,
you know?
I can understand Tesla because it's a newer company, and he's also trying to do some crazy ass shit with the cars, like make them fly and stuff. So I can understand that. But I'm talking about the older model vehicles. You just don't see them blowing up, and then you have 144,000 of them that can possibly blow up, is what they're saying. And it's just weird that it's the election year and it's mail-in votes. So these things are catching on fire with the mail-in votes. You see what I'm saying? So they're losing votes. I think there's something more to this.
I can see where people can get that idea, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and I'm going to say that I think that's just a coincidence.
Man.
In my
All right,
opinion,
you saying it's a coinky dink, man?
because
Are you fucking serious?
it's out there. The research shows that vehicles, they get old, and in a certain amount of time, there is a great possibility that
so
they
you
could
sitting here
blow
trying
up.
to tell me that they ain't changed these damn mail trucks with all the money that this damn country got. We ain't changed the mail trucks out in 24
Post office
years.
doesn't get very much of it at all. They
Yeah,
run
but
on
I say,
people's shipping cost.
We're gonna have to research what the post office gets in funding for one to see how much money they get.
So
they don't. I'm telling you, they don't. They run exclusively on the purchases of stamps and shipping packages.
Okay, but to me, I don't care what anybody says. It's just odd. Why couldn't it happen last year? Why couldn't it be 23 years? Why couldn't it be 25 years until this happened? It just
As a matter of fact,
specifically had to happen right now, right before the damn mail-in vote elections. That is just odd to me. Like it.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you for a second, Rob. I'm gonna help you. The research that we got together on this was actually this didn't just start happening. The first report of a blown up mail truck has happened in 2014 was the first report of a mail truck blowing up. And then since then, there's been more than 407 that have caught fire. So 407 since 2014. That to me says these things are old, man. They're just old. They need replaced. We need to help the mail people. We need to help them. Donate to your local mail. Go buy stamps. Help them buy new trucks, because if not, they're blowing up.
It was still set up, man. They knew that there would be mail-in votes this year in time, so they knew them damn trucks by the time
People have been voting by mail forever.
When?
All the time. It's always been an option to mail in vote, to mail your ballot in. It's always been an option. You had to request it. You had to
I ain't never voted, man, because I truly feel like I don't have a choice in this country between. I feel like we all don't have a choice. I feel like it's whatever they really want, man. They fucking up the election all the damn time. Like Bush Jr. shouldn't have never made it in office. You remember that back in the day? What was it, like in 90 something? He should have never made it in, and they fucked that shit up down there in Florida. Ever since then, I just knew the shit was rigged.
Well, look, if you ask me, I think what it is we have forgotten how to truly vote, how to vote. Honestly, there's no, I mean, okay, so as important as voting is, we the people, we are the people, we are the ones that are supposed to be making the moves, right? And the government is the one, is kind of like our extension of us, is like our arm connected to my body and my mind and my body, and everything else makes up what my arm is going to do for me, right? That's the government. It's supposed to, that's how it's supposed to work. But the thing is we don't have enough education. We don't have enough education on how to vote, what it means to vote, everything. Like, it goes all the way back to that old Schoolhouse Rock episode. You know, I am a bill on Capitol Hill. You know, I am a bill. I'm a sad little bill. Huh. You know, okay, that guy, remember? So you got the legislative, the judicial, and the executive branches of government, right? You need to go back to your judicial and your legislative branches, and you need to look at those people. Because right now, everybody focuses on the executive branch, which is the president, the mayors, and above. Fuck those guys. All those guys do is their picture on TV, and they swipe a pen to say yes or no. The people under them are the ones that make the damn laws. Where they're the ones that create the laws. They're the ones that write the laws. And those are the people that are closer to us in the judicial branch and in the legislative branch. Those are our governors, our city officials. Those are the people that we vote for on city councils. Those are the people that we need to be looking at, who are writing those bills, because it's going to get tossed back up, all the way up to the executive branch, where Mr. President Trump is, he don't know nothing about what anything is. He's going to say, oh, this is a huge bill. Huge. Yes, sign. That's all he does, man. He doesn't read. He doesn't read what it is, bro. The other people in the government make up what happens. So what we need to do is we need to go back to educating people how to vote. We need to go back to educating them on voting for their city officials, their educations. They need to go back to voting for city officials and governors that run their state, that are going to do stuff for them. For us, the people. That's how it's supposed to go. Tired of focusing on the executive branch, which is Trump. You know, he's not going to do much for us. He's got the power and the face and all that right now, but really, we have the voice. We have the pen. So
yeah, we do. And we need to, I just don't understand how out of 300 million Americans, that's all we have to choose from is Biden and Trump. Like, how is that possible? The mathematics don't even equal that. If you put, I mean, how does that work? How in the hell does that work anyway?
Well,
how is that only fucking two people on the planet that we have running for president?
I can say that I feel like there's been a little bit of, that was
manipulation
set up. Yeah, it was probably manipulated and set up that way, because they want one of these two guys to be it. Like,
because they know both of them bring war. If Trump gets back in, it's war. If Biden gets in, it's war. And this is where they want us at.
It's going to be civil war, if anything.
Civil war. And that's what they're starting with, all these race wars, these cop on people wars. All this is getting us fighting amongst each other. And then with this president, this new election and shit, it's going to blow the shit skyward, man, with the riots and the protests. And
yeah,
it's just crazy.
And it's not just here in America. It's all over the place. It's all over the world. It all started with Tokyo in Japan. So, and
why would they do that when those are two different countries?
Because China's communist. That's why they're trying to take over. They're trying to take things over. And they're also in bed with the Democrats. So
true.
I mean, that's why I think a lot of people in the country are afraid for the Democrats to get the White House, because they can see. I mean, obviously, this is America. It's just not going to be, because Biden goes in the White House, all of a sudden it's going to change. You know, it's not going to be like that. We're still going to know the American way of life. We're still going to know things, but it's going to be small, little changes that slowly move our way to being a suppressed community, you know.
I don't know, man.
Forcing us
kind
to
of fed up
do
with shit, man, and it could go down. When's the election? 37 days from now, 36 days from now, or something.
pretty close, yeah.
It can go down
something
there.
like that.
It can go down there.
It's about to too.
People are on the edge, man. They're on the edge, and you see all these.
You had the dude on the Trump side on mainstream media news saying, if I was you, I'd go get ammunition and guns and shit
food
like
and
that.
shit, like the at least last year, like 2 weeks to a month. I've been hearing a bunch of shit about that too, but yeah, man, I don't know. It's gonna get crazy real soon.
Crazy. Right on. Well, there you go.
We can talk about why do I need a flu shot if I'm wearing a mask for coronavirus.
Hey, right? Didn't you say something? What did you find out on that?
Yeah, why don't I just?
Where's your camera at? You do a lot of talking with no camera, man. I'm tired of it.
Hey, I
Because
know a
there's
good
just
topic,
little
man. We can
things.
talk about right now. That's kind of crazy. The brain eating. What is it? Amoeba in the water down there in Texas. Labibia.
He's like a amebia.
Don't hell, I bet. Labibia.
Well, me be a damn. Rob does not know how to talk.
Amoeba.
I don't know nothing about no damn amoebas.
Okay, but look, this is some serious shit though. It's in like 8. I'm thinking they're saying 8 counties down there in Texas somewhere.
That shit already existed. I've already heard stories in the past that I cannot pinpoint and I don't have information on currently, but I have heard of this before.
6-year-old child dies from brain eating amoeba in water
Amoeba.
supply. Amoeba.
Yeah. I can't.
Amoeba.com.
Amebias.com,
some shit. Amoeba in water. Okay, so I mean that's kind of serious, man. What is this shit?
Well, an amoeba is like a parasite. It's like and if it's living in water, then basically, however, you get parasites through water. Like you can drink it, you can.
But how does it eat your brain though? Does it when you drink the water?
It just travels there. Parasites live in all kinds of situations.
That's fucking.
Yeah, man.
That's
your
scary,
intestines and your brain.
Just like any hungry animal, like a bear. When a bear comes out of hibernation, they go and find the food, man. They go. It's just amoebas are the same thing. I think that's what we were maybe at one time. We used to be amoebas in little fucking whatever you call them, photons and parasites, and we were that one time. And we found our way to the food source.
Am I the only one that thinks that's scary? I don't want no damn to come home, drink a glass of water,
it's scary,
and then I die.
it already. This isn't new.
Yeah,
this shit already happens.
People, man, when I lived in California, what scared me was when fucking Governor Newsom or whatever started talking about the California Clean Water Act, and this new thing that they were going to do was they were going to try and do they were going to refilter wastewater.
Oh, I remember you telling me that.
And it was going to be like 100 times more filtered than it is now. They found a way to do it.
They do that for irrigation in like El Mirage and Surprise. There's signs on the thing that says like, don't drink the irrigation water because it's recycled wastewater.
Yeah, they're spraying shit. Human shit all over
watering the plants.
Well, not that they were in that particular instance. Yeah,
they're like no, it's not like irrigation like for plants for food for crops. It's for like the trees that are living in the medians.
Yeah,
on the road.
But what I'm saying though is when I heard Newsom talking about it, he was talking about it in a way that maybe here in the next near future, and he was talking like 5-10 years type shit, they were going to have a way to possibly turn wastewater into clean drinking water. And when he said that, the way our country works, the way our government works, I was like, I need to get the fuck out of California because chances are they're already doing it right now. If they're going to come out and say that they're thinking about trying this and they're going to tell the public this, chances are they've already tried it somewhere along the line. And now they got to take the next step. They're slowly bringing it into the mainstream. So I was like, Californians are drinking shit water right now. Don't drink it. So, yeah, man. You want to talk about amoebas? There you go. There's your
I mean, I
amoeba
guess
right
it just all links into the last days, the Bible, the Revelations, with everything else that's going on in 2020. You got amebios in your water. You got fucking fucking Quran virus floating around in the air. Now the mask can't stop it. All type of shit going on. Locusts and shit over on the other. Yeah, half the world's on fire. You got cricket problem over in India or something. I seen like they was all over the damn trees, man.
It is flying in there. It is like some biblical times.
It's like fucking Revelations, man.
But
a third of the water, what they say, a third of the water turned to wormwood or something. I believe that's what it says in Revelations.
What's wormwood?
Yeah, it says a wormwood is a star or something. If you Google it or look it up, I did some research on it a while back, but it's like it says wormwood, and wormwood is like a star or something, I guess. So I don't know. It's weird. We need to look into that maybe for the next episode or something.
Yeah.
What's the meaning of wormwood? And it does say that in Revelations. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, leave it in the comments below because that's another good topic we can talk about if anybody knows.
Yeah. Also, hey, you guys don't be afraid to leave us some comments on some topics. You guys want to hear us talk about something? Go ahead and drop a comment. Let us know what it is you want to hear us talk about. And yeah, we'll give a shout out and we definitely read our comments. So yeah, for sure, man. Let us know.
That's crazy.
Whoa. What you find,
somebody
man?
Somebody just put in the comments of the article that this is not an accident. This is an inside terrorist attack.
On what?
You guys think the amoeba in the water? No, the water.
Oh, no.
The water situation in Texas.
I think the coronavirus is more of a terrorist attack than anything.
True.
I think the American military doesn't want to move on China for some reason when they know they intentionally set this virus out there into the world.
We'll see if the shit starts popping up in other states, with the water being tampered with or contaminated. Then it's some type of psyop or war or something going on against us with the viruses and the poisons of water.
Why do you think I always want to go to these cold, snowy places, man, where there's glaciers, where there's always going to be fresh water? You can't live in these cities, in these metropolises no more, and these small towns that are away from mountainous, cold areas, because that is what's going to serve you the benefit. Being in places where water is controlled by fucking humans, good luck. You guys are going to die. You guys are going to die when shit really hits the fan, whether it's a natural disaster, whether it's a biblical thing or a fucking terrorist attack or a zombie apocalypse, whatever happens. If you guys are in a place where the humans control the natural resources, I believe you're in trouble. Yeah. I hate Phoenix. I love Phoenix, but I hate it. I love you, but I hate you. It's a love-hate relationship.
I don't like Phoenix. You not want to be out there when shit hits the fan.
Yeah, but when life's good, you don't want to be where it's negative 58 degrees below zero either.
True.
Yeah. When life was good about 10 years ago, bro, you don't want to be living in the winter like that. No way. But now it's a whole different story, guys.
Now everybody done came here and it's miserable.
Oh, everyone woke up. All of a sudden, if you weren't a prepper 3 years ago, you are now. Put it that way.
Yeah.
A lot of people that
actually throwing the shit out of food right now, man.
Yeah, all kinds of people.
I go shopping.
All kinds of people went from prepper or from non-preppers to preppers. from people who don't support guns to supporting guns. Like, I know somebody that I work with actually that was like, I will never have a gun. It will never, not here. No way. Not at all.
Shit.
Too dangerous. Guess what? Coronavirus happened. All the bullshit happened. Guess who has a gun? I'm not going to name drop.
Riots and
but,
shit. Yeah. Riots
Yeah.
start happening. Oh, hell, I got to get me one now. Yeah. You got to have one.
You do. You do.
Absolutely.
It's for sure. But anyway, yeah, you guys drop us comments. Let us know what you think. You guys can check us out at What the Fuck America YouTube. You guys can check us out at What the Fuck America Facebook. And you guys can also check us out at What the Fuck America 19 on our Twitter account. And let us know what you think. Always keep it locked for new episodes. Make sure to follow. Make sure to like. Make sure to subscribe and share, guys. Okay? I appreciate it. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Have a good one. What the fuck, America? Like, what the fuck? You know, like,